This is the Just Steph Show, and I'm your host, Steph Palermo, your Italian Boston girl who's an empath, healer, and all-around seeker of wisdom. Tune in weekly for advice on how to live your best life at work, home, or play so you can feel groovy every day. I am thrilled to be here. So I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things. I'm excited I have some announcements to make, and lots of stuff is happening. So here we go. And hey, Katie, how are you? I wanted to talk to you a little bit about feeling grateful. And I think we hear this all the time, that we need to feel grateful. And as human beings, we gravitate towards what feels good. I mean, it's part of our nature to not want to suffer. However, so many of us are addicted to suffering, whether it's in toxic relationships, whether they're love relationships, friendships, even family members. We stay in jobs that are not less than satisfying. They're also degrading, unhappy, and can even be abusive if you have bosses and managers that don't respect you. We are unhealthy in our heads, and also in our heads, hearts, and bodies. We're unhealthy, and we're addicted to suffering, and we're addicted to drama, and we stay in that. And we hear all these people saying, all these great influences saying, you need to be grateful, you need to be grateful. But how can you feel grateful when you're stuck in sort of a rut in one or more areas of your life? And I'd like to propose that really the only way you can feel grateful is if you feel groovy. And the only way to feel groovy is if you start to change your thinking, your perspective, how you view yourself, and your role here in the universe and in the world, and the importance that you play and the gifts that you have and that you bring to the table. And you start to put into practice some of these thought patterns, and then in turn, when you start to change your thinking, you also start to do things a little differently. You start to align yourself with people who are like-minded, people who are uplifting and encouraging and positive. You will say, okay, well, maybe this job isn't for me, or maybe I need a raise, or maybe I'd like to try something new. Whatever the case is, you can only feel grateful if you feel groovy. And really, feeling groovy is something that you want to attain for most of the time that you're at least awake. And you think, okay, well, how do you do that? That's kind of pie in the sky stuff, right? How can I just feel great every minute of the day when this is happening and that's happening, and so-and-so is talking about me behind my back, and I'm not really happy with my weight, or I'm not happy with how I feel. The doctor says I have high cholesterol and high blood pressure. How can I really feel groovy? Well, there are situations that do come up that need to be addressed. And when you start to address them from a healthy and emotionally, psychologically, and physically healthy perspective, then you will start to feel better. You will start to feel good every day, and you'll have more groovy days than not. And then you can sort of turn your back on that addiction to suffering and say, no, I really want to feel great every day. I need to make some changes in my life. I want to feel good every day. I want to be happy with what I'm doing. I want to have purpose and meaning in my life. And that changes. I mean, things change. Your purpose changes. I mean, from somebody who's maybe in their young 30s, newly married, their purpose is, they're working, yes, but they're probably, getting ready to start a family and raise a family together. And when you're 45 and the kids are off in college, your purpose shifts, and you have to embrace that and embrace those shifts in your life. And you can feel good most of the times. And I can tell you, if you start to develop a pattern where you're feeling groovy and you're feeling good most of the days and things come up, it may make you may feel bad for the short term, but you figure it out and you try to work through it, and then you're like, oh my gosh, this is great. And I can tell you, coming from a place where I came from, it wasn't always that way for me. I mean, there was a time where I wanted to stay in the bed. I didn't always feel great. And the truth is right now, right this moment in my existence, am I at the pinnacle of my journey? No. I certainly don't weigh what I want to weigh. I'm not making the money I want to make. My career isn't where it's supposed to be, or where I want it to be. But every day, I can promise you, every day I'm smiling every day. There were days that it was very dark for me, and dealing with a lot of stuff from my upbringing, and then going into a marriage with a lot of that brokenness, and it perpetuates. And just by me changing my mindset, now it took a long time for me, but it doesn't have to for you. If you really, really want things to change, they can change like that. All you have to do is change your thinking. You change your thoughts, you change your world. And I have some great announcements. So you need to understand that. Like when somebody says, you need to be grateful because, this is great in your life, but really this part of your life is dragging you down, you can say, at least to yourself, you might, I don't know if you want to say it out loud, but, it's hard for me to be grateful. This is so heavy on me. But until you start to work through those issues and start to feel groovy every day, you can't be grateful. And soon, once you are in that place, you're actually even grateful for that moment of unhappiness or uneasiness or being uncomfortable, because you worked through something in a healthy way, and now you're, like me, skipping off to yoga with the yoga mat going, oh my gosh, this is a great life. And it's amazing. And it's great, and things have really changed for me, and they can change for you. So what I want to tell you about is I did all the legwork for you, and I'm one of those people that likes to take information and I like to listen to different sources, and I like to take what works for me and what is the best ideas and kind of put it together and adopt that and just kind of see what is a good way for me to roll. So what I've done is I have taken my 10 top feel groovy tips, and I've put them in a free download for you. See, it's Steph's 10 feel groovy do's to get you in the groove. And it's out there on social media. And if you sign up for my newsletter and become a Just Steph VIP, you can get this free download. And of course, this is just the beginning, because you have to really start doing some of these things and practicing these things to start to feel good every day. But also there's much more, because I'm going to be offering an online course. It's 12 hours to feel groovy, and that's going to be launched very shortly, and I'm excited about that. And of course there's one-on-one, and it's short term. I am not a therapist or a long-term life coach. I just want to help you get feeling groovy as quickly as possible. So that's what I have for you today, and I know that you hear things about feeling grateful, and sometimes you don't, but don't feel guilty about it, because you got to feel groovy to feel grateful. And that's all I got for you today. I hope you have a groovy day. You know I love you all, right? So enjoy your day. Feel groovy. Sign up for my newsletter. Become a Just Steph VIP and get your free download of Steph's Feel Groovy Do's to get you in the groove. And get on the groove line with me. I love you all. Wishing you love, balance, and peace. Ciao, ciao, baby. Love you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Just Steph Show. I really care about you, your happiness, and helping you make great choices for your life. So tune in next week for more wisdom from me. In the meantime, follow me on my Just Steph Facebook page, on Twitter at Steph Palermo. My Instagram account is JustSteph1, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Steph Palermo. See you next week. Ciao, ciao, baby.